What's up? How's it going? It has been a really, really, really long time since we all hung out. And I got to be honest with you. I had no big plans necessarily today to hang out. But then all of a sudden I was just thinking about something. I was thinking about something kind of random. And I was like, you know where would be a fun place to express these thoughts? It's like I got this YouTube channel just sitting here. I'm not using it. I'm not doing anything. It's just wasting away. And some of you guys are asking, like, hey, where you been? When are you going to come back? Here I am. Right here. What's up? It has been, I want to say November since the last stream, but this time last year when we were doing this regularly. So think of this as a little bit of a pilot trial to see if I can still stand up here on this horse here. See if I still know how to use all my functions or not. See if I have lost any good takes on anything. I think I'm going to do this hopefully quite a bit more with you guys. Eventually get back to making videos, which got some ideas in the can, some stuff coming around the pike. So really want to take care of you guys, give you guys some fresh content. It's been so long. Again, don't even know if I know what I'm doing or if I'm going to be able to figure any of this out. What I'm going to do, though, here in a minute is we're going to talk Nofx Openers. And as you can see right here, based on my screen, do a little bit of a tier ranking. And then we'll divide them up from there. We'll have a little bit of fun with some of these Nofx Openers. We'll talk about them. We'll put some context to them. Have a little bit of fun on a Friday evening. Instead of listening to some full albums, we'll just take a little bit off the top. We'll do that for about an hour. Go ahead and enjoy our Friday nights. All right. Let's do this. So, I am debating, though, which direction maybe I want to go with this. Do I want to put the playlist on shuffle? Or you know what? Let's go chronologically, and we'll see wherever we land from there. We'll start out, then, way back, Liberal Animation. Is Liberal Animation the worst NoFX album? I don't know. Maybe. It's pretty far down there. They really didn't have their sound yet. But I think we can just go ahead and judge it for ourselves. Let's not consider the extreme weight of hindsight or anything like that. Let's just experience the first ever opener on the first ever Nofx LP. Does have those brooding intros that they always could do so well. With like that you can definitely see the DNA of it in this song. And again, like NoFX is always having these metal guitarists in here that are doing that metal inspired stuff, and we even get the little Led Zeppelin moment later in the song. I love that, like the first ever official NoFX LP starts with a Fat Mike just yelling, "Shut up!"
Affection, not section. Meat is murder. Animals are pathetic. Oh, shut the fuck up already. Tired of you whining about poor animals dying and the food you're flying.
Didn't Mike have like a vegan stage in the 2000s?
Right! Shut up! No! Affection, not section! Meat is murder!
How like unimaginative early on that they just kind of repeated a part.
Animals are pathetic. Shut your trap already. I don't want to listen and I'm tired of the vision that what's in my kitchen. Earth began when down to what you take another look. They would eat you up.
Now for something completely different.
Ooh, hate your flaws and the way you move. You're really cool when you're really rude.
It's like the worst Robert Plant ever. Hold up, days to days. Hold up. Let's rank Shut Up Already. Where should we put Shut Up Already? Is it S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, or D tier? I enjoy the song. I find it charming. I do. But in just the overall context of NoFX, there is no way in hell I'm going to put this anywhere in any level of positivity. Cool opener, but NoFX just had not found themselves. So, unless it changes, otherwise, we're starting out in D tier. As Fat Mike said in his book, it was the worst of times, and it was the worster of times. And it absolutely was. Stuff got a little bit better on S&M Airlines, though. In fact, I would say stuff got way better. I think NoFX only has one bad album, and it's Liberal Animation. Look at just how much cleaner that sound already was one album in. Getting to work with Brett definitely helped, even if they kind of drove each other crazy. Like, to me, this is already classic NoFX. Has it ever gone record confirmed what friend he is talking about in this song?
When you said, I've got a better job, I can pay you back real soon. But why don't do those drugs no more? I know my luck has changed, my lifestyle has rearranged. I'm on my feet. You'll never change your way, living from day to day. Why don't you fade away?
What's more trippy, I think, is the way Mike delivers the vocal on that song. He's trying to have like that deep voice vocal, instead of just like signature Mike sound.
I've heard all this before when you were sleeping on my floor. Said only for a day. But as the 2 weeks passed, my patience didn't last, nor my food. You'll never change your way, living from day to day. Why don't you fade away?
Where would we put Day to Days? I don't think it's quite D tier, but it's not great. It's actually, I think, much more similar to late, like almost current era NoFX than a lot of that fun earlier stuff. It's a little too serious for me for an opener. So, what to do? I'm gonna put it. It's gonna go D tier as well, but it's gonna be positioned ahead of Shut Up Already. So that'll declare. I don't think it'll move up. I don't want to stack these tiers too much, but I think that's an appropriate tier. Do you disagree? Tell me in the chat. All right, let's move on to Ribbed, where it really felt like they were hitting their biggest piece of stride. They had obviously pre-Hefe. Let's check out some Green Corn. What I like about Green Corn is now like the spirit comes up a little bit. And again, that, like, now we're in just classic NoFX drum sound, that fat sound. That's what that sounds like. I know it came out on Epitaph, but that is like the fat sound. The real skate punk sound was really, they didn't have it on Liberal Animation, obviously, but they started to bring it in on these albums, and we're getting closer and closer to them hitting that peak. Now this is the lyrics from that movie, right?
Think of all the people I never want to meet. I close my eyes and I go to sleep. Tony, baby, you're trapped behind your golden spot. On the bridge of poverty, I hang around and bought. The lights of Mercedes, a mansion with a pool. While outside a bus stop, just waiting for some fuel.
That might be kind of the example of what Fat Mike was talking about with not wanting to do those what's up Duck, those Bad Religion style harmonies, in part of why they got rid of Brett, but they did do it very, very well. Ribbed and So Long. I love So Long. I'm not a huge fan of Ribbed. I love So Long. I love doing this with you again, guys. Fun to be back. Again, like these guitar parts, and this is pre-Hefe, but they're still doing all this stuff. Is this Steve? Is this Steve or Dave on this album? I don't know, and I don't really care to look it up right now. Again, like really good metal guitar. Just so much attitude to Green Corn. That's a great song. Underrated song sometimes. Where would we put it up on our tier? Where would we put Green Corn? Where would you put Green Corn? It's a funny sentence to say. Where would you put Green Corn? I'm going to say Green Corn. Green Corn, and I might move it later. Green Corn is B tier to me. It's that damn good. All right, we're kind of moving along here, and let's move along. Let's bring Hefe into the mix with Sold Out. And Two Heaves is a funky album because there's just all kinds of eclectic stuff. Like, I don't think they had really fit in, obviously, Hefe Perfect yet. So he was still just bringing all the stuff he had and merging it with them. But man, if you read like their books and stuff, he really brought them up a notch on this album. So many openers, so many albums. Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're going through them. And luckily, they're short songs. Thank God it's not one of these bands that has like 30-minute songs. Jeez.
Sometimes I feel my life is going on in circles. Beneath my eyes, the blue is black. There's nothing new. No one I want to talk to. Nothing I want to think about. I got sold down.
Obviously, the great wordplay, but great song about like depression. I've always thought.
I stick my head out of the window when it's closed. Instead of air, I get glass stuck into my head. The city sounding, I can't seem to stop the pounding. Can't keep my thoughts from flying round. Can't keep my thoughts from flying round. Not sure what I'm thinking about. I got sold out. A shameless display, wearing a smile full of pain. A frameless airtake, a painting without a signature. She's waiting for someone to save her as I pass her by.
He really does a good job always. Fat Mike does of hitting those emotional tones at like just the right time.
I see Cinderella. She doesn't fit into the slipper. Once she fits in a bottle of liquor, there's no one to take her away. Her eyes be mine. She sees right through me. The question is, what's gonna do for me? I don't need nothing, just a connection. I gotta know what she's all about, 'cause I know she's been there, sold out.
Another cool solo.
I stick my head out of the window once again. This time I see 1,000 faces all too clear. They wear the same expression. I've seen in my face so many times. I know exactly how they feel. I know exactly how they feel. I know just what they think about. They got sold out.
In my opinion, this is like them really putting a real focus on these openers and doing them with some like real intention. Where would I put Sold Out? Sold Out's a big one for me. And it's cool because it's right next to what's up, Punk Rock Review? It's right next to Bob and Sticking in My Eye on the album. I'd go B tier ahead of Green Corn. For sure. I'm almost convinced on A tier, but I feel like it's not quite up to that level. So nothing's been C tier yet, although Days to Days might qualify as C tier as we refine this list just a little bit. Now let's cheat a little bit. I don't remember what the opener on Punk and Drublic was. Do you? Just has completely slipped my mind. Oh yeah. That's the greatest punk rock song ever. Fight. Say it out. Without waiting.
Sessions never meant anything to me. I'm not crazy. Well, that's not true. I've got a bed and a guitar and a Johnny Bob who pisses on my floor. That's right, I got a flaw. So what? So what?
What are we even doing, guys? What are we doing?
My closest friend, linoleum, linoleum.
As if there was any question.
Supports my head. Give me something to
This is where it goes from like, this is where from A to S.
That's me on the beach side, going the sand. Metal meter in my hand, sporting a pocket full of change. That's me on the street with the violin under my chin, laying with a grin.
Right here.
That's me on the back of the bus. That's me in the cell. That's me inside your
30 years ago this year,
That's
folks.
me inside
30
your
years ago.
That's me inside your head.
And as he pointed out, he never even wrote a chorus for it. It's just a song that progresses into kind of nothing. Almost a true opener in that way, but became their most legendary song. Now, we didn't need to give it analysis. We didn't need to give it thought. It's S tier. Good luck everything else on this list, even touching it. I can't believe they followed up Punk and Drublick with Heavy Petting Zoo. Thank God they were just in Punk. Thank God that this wasn't like a major label thing. They would have been dropped so fast if that's what they followed up this classic with. But the opener's pretty good. Let's get a little homophobic. Scared bumps. I suffer from homophobia.
I'm homophobic, so it on. Scared of them. They're just because of big man. They're just gonna crack us. From digging too much lies on. Let them be. Just don't get fucking near me. Scared of bomb. Infested with microscopic bugs and dogged systematic doo-doo. Why don't they get it all? Let them be. Just don't get fucking near me. Scared of bums.
Homophobic is a funny opener. Like literally it's a funny song concept. It's a weird song for an opener though. Doesn't it feel like it's a kind of like a mid, not mid in terms of energy, but like it would be somewhere just buried on a NoFX album as like a real quick song that's like, oh, that came in and then it was over, or like a perfect song for like the 46 songs EP. It's crazy that that's the album opener. It's crazy that Heavy Petting Zoo came when it did. Because think about the two records that Heavy Petting Zoo is sandwiched in between. Pretty ridiculous. With that said, I kind of got a thing for homophobic. It hits that NoFX part of my soul. I'm gonna put it as a C tier song. So far, nothing's A tier. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to. Who's gonna take over Fat Mike's job of keeping punk rock elite now that he's gonna drift off into the sunset? But even as much as I like homophobic, that you had Linoleum, and you've got keep punk rock elite. Like, this is unbelievable that was sandwiched in between. How did that happen, Mike? Where was the quality control?
Indiscriminate, I'd rather be elite. I'll choose my own chances. Unsubstantiated, rumors blown are true. I'm here for me, not you.
so?
It seems my jobs have done. Never
I don't
understand
know,
it.
dude.
Trying to buy it branded. And when you lose, 'cause it's my job to keep on fucking lead. This music ain't your fucking industry.
Okay. Obviously, it's a top tier song. It's an upper tier song. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Pump up the volume. Not yet. It's a top tier song. Is it better than Linoleum? Deke thinks so. Is it S tier? Is it A tier? Where does it go? Are we doing our jobs? Are we keeping punk rock elite? It's definitely S tier. It's not above Linoleum though, but it's S tier. It's going to be very hard for that song to move off of that position as the second best opener as we go through these. And now for something completely similar. A great short song. I just is it just me? In my mind, I know and for something completely similar starts this sort of theme of more intros than openers. But don't you just think Dinosaurs is the lead-off song sometimes, like in your head? Hello. Again, that foreboding that was there even from Shut Up Already. Decline too. Talked about that this week. We'll talk about it again next week.
Hello, welcome to RCT. Can you hear the blatant similarity to linoleum and shadows of defeat?
Again, more of an intro than an opener in my opinion. Still pretty awesome. Still kind of trolly. Such a great album. Not the strongest of openers, though. I feel like this is sacrilege because the album's so good and I do like the song, but it's C tier for me. It's ahead of Homophobic for sure. We're not even going to pretend that. You know what? Day to Days goes up here. Homophobic down here. Shut Up Already's right there. It's my list. But still nothing that I feel is A tier. Whatever A tier is. However we're arbitrarily defining it. But this is a nice pacing here. And I hope this goes with it. I didn't really want to put out like the words of the song on a thing, but I thought like each one of these can represent. And so maybe in a couple of weeks ago we're going to do Nofx closers. And we'll use this same exact template, same exact format. All right, let's continue to keep punk rock elite, or let's evolve that concept.
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
What do you want to do today?
We don't know.
Do you want to go to the matinee?
No.
Do you want to go to the amusement park?
No.
Do you want to go to the punk rock show?
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show. Ah, love this. Another Nofx Old Man Yelling at the Clouds song. Oh no, Deke.
Lost in a sea of combat boots. Plus some bastards with wasted youth.
I love the little.
We need punk rock because those things. We need the scene become a show. The kids who used to live for beer and speed. Don't want them from the car. Cursing and birds are not allowed.
Melvin's always good in an opener. It's good to bring up Melvin in an opener. Bryce provides that contrast.
In fact, the key noise levels down. Must separate the church and state.
want every show to be a matinee. I'm old now. Please make every show a matinee.
It's to be all they can be, and we can sing my country to thee. Sweet land of liberty. When did punk rock become so sick? I know it wasn't Twain or Fletcher.
It wasn't Fletcher?
Who put up the barricades like a stake in the heart. Somehow we got driven apart.
What a freaking anthem. What a calling card this was. Like what an opening statement on their big political album.
When did punk rock become so safe?
I think I have no choice here. I think that is the exact thing that an A tier was built for. Separation of church and state. It's a great song. Sometimes I'm a little over it personally, just 'cause I've listened to it so much. But I've listened to that whole album so much, and it's a great album. It really is. Really captures the zeitgeist of the time in a really, really unique way. Let's hear NoFX not give their all.
I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to meet my friend, the Russian, the Irish, the German, the Colombian.
It's like we could all speak French, right?
I don't
A
care
little kumbaya.
how bad I fuck up. I care about how fucked up I get. I'm not your clown. I'm your dealer. And I'm holding 3 bundles of bullshit. And you're buying them cause you are addicted to the pure and totally uncut.
Another old man in that loud intro.
I'm not here to amuse you. I'm here.
And I've said the early 2000s are really the start of like the cult of Mike personality that we're just sort of maybe winding down as he's the elder statesman of the punk rock museum.
To amuse my body. I'm here because old habits die hard. And seriously, what else am I supposed to do? This isn't my job, my hobby, my habit. It's sad, but this is my life. Welcome to our mission statement.
I love the idea of when he says there, welcome to our mission statement. I love the fact that it's an intro. It's a mission statement in that way. That this is a perfect, like, the 60% songs. I like both of them. And they're a perfect like summation of what NoFX was at that point, what they blatantly were. Like we talked about it on Tuesday, like they come across pretentious. And like, yeah, that's the thing about NoFX. They are kind of the pretentious band. That's what makes them awesome.
Total self-debasement and not giving our all. Watch us fall. It's not that we don't pull it. It's just that we only give about 60 or so %.
And I don't want to be all gatekeepery, but this next part where he just trashes on the pop stars to make it wearing pop stars, it's just always kind of awesome. Immature, I get it, but awesome.
Would you rather be fed bullshit from some 20-something makeup wearing pop star? This one goes out to all our fans all over the world.
Thank you.
Without you, it would just be us. So I just want to say thank you. We fucking love you, Modesto.
And then this next part where Mike like makes fun of people for taking it easy before the show is just chef's kiss.
Fuck you! And you're taking it easy before the show, so you won't lose your voice and disappoint your fans' routine. You don't care about the children, you don't even know them, all you know is their money.
I love a good NoFX song of gluttony. I love 60%. Now, it feels a little incomplete because this one's on the bookend, so it doesn't feel like the full song. I'm gonna say it's definitely a B tier for me. It's a much better intro than Now for Something Completely Different. No, it's not better than Green Corn. It's not better than Sold Out though. It goes right there. First category to rack up about 3 of them. But now we're into the mid 2000s. Now we're about to get into old NoFX. Maybe the end of, quote, young NoFX. The leads were weak. Fuck you, you're weak. Glenn Gary Ross.
The leads are weak.
The leads are weak. The fucking leads are weak. You're weak.
Remember when America had a middle class and an upper class that was way before the Exodus? That was the America that we thought was number one, that would ever come, that would never die. That was just a pride and faith. Do better than these sins. I know faith isn't one of them, but it should have been. Cause when things are crumbling, we had no camaraderie, just a face of what would say was so despondent. We called it America. Whoa. We called it America. Whoa. Number one America was a slogan used to keep morale, but we knew we were already cooked in the matter was the states. Seceded in secession and they used their ones followed right behind. Mexican America was a perfect name that epitomized the order, significance, authority, and influence. We had turned it all around, went from number one straight to number two. We called it America. Whoa. We called it America. Whoa.
And this song, I think it's called We Called It America, but I think it has like a little bit of an American Jesus kind of vibe to it here. I guess it's not. There's other punk songs that's more similar to, but it does make me think of that part in American Jesus. You know, the kids that know moms, and this is a little bit slower version. But I love the way Mike delivers that sort of real dry delivery he has here.
Circumcised society, USA, dined and ditched. Fox reports, poor is the new rich.
We called it America. Whoa. 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 We called it America.
Coaster's an amazing album, underrated. We Called It America, but where do we put it on our list? I'm gonna say it's definitely A tier. Is it better than Church and Skate? No, Church and Skate. Church and Skate is a little bit better, even if I'm a little numb to it. But it's definitely A tier. Definitely A tier. We have a funny shape now with our tier list. Let's go to how Fat Mike proposed to actually have peace in the Middle East. Simple solution right there. 72 hours. They can beat the Marine Corps. like Self-Entitled probably more than most. I like late period NoFX more than most. What do you guys think of this one? Was it 2012, 2013? Right around that area. I think it's an underrated record. I think, yeah, I just think it's really good. Don't even have a whole lot to say about it. It's funny because it has the melancholy that it could be like a Linoleum or one of those songs, and then it turns into this totally silly song.
They don't hate us, they just hate their lives. And desperate people learn to despise the suicidals. Don't want a coup, they don't want to blow up, they just want their 72. 72 virgins can never stop a war, but 100,000 hookers can beat the Marine Corps.
True story.
And stopping hatred, fighting will cease. When everyone is getting blowjobs, that's when we'll finally have world peace. How many million men have been killed in foreign wars? We need to reinstate the draft, enlist 1 million whores. Start with sororities, then all the spring breaks. Ship the girls gone wild to Afghanistan. They'll gladly blow the shakes. These holy wars aren't holy, it's not the military
And here's the
complex.
truth bomb right here.
Terrorists are 16-year-old kids who were promised jihad sex.
Take it away, Mike. Bring us home.
Maybe if they could see a woman's face, they might not get onto that plane
Nope.
with a bomb in their
Their
suitcase. 72 virgins can never stop a war,
Nope.
but 100,000 hookers can beat the Marine Corps.
100%.
In stopping violence, fighting will cease. When everyone is getting blowjobs,
What are we gonna
that's
have?
when we'll finally have world peace.
Great. Great. 72 hookers. They could beat the Marine Corps, but can they make any headway on my tier ranking here? That's A tier. It's third place on A tier for sure, but that's A tier. That's better than Sold Out. Yeah. Okay, now let's get into what I like to call modern NoFX, which is hard to distinguish sometimes between Cokie the Clown. There might have been a point where NoFX just turned into Cokie the Clown and we didn't exactly realize it, or we realized it and we've been pointed out this whole time. But let's enjoy a tale of Smelly is what 6 Years on Dope is. I want to play the clip. No. This one?
I don't want to do it. You do it. You just think it's better than me. You know?
No.
The yell.
No, you're
Do the yell. From the guy. You know?
opening.
Yeah. No, from like when you fucking
Song
get
about Smelly.
Afghanistan.
you can argue First Ditch Effort. Maybe it's less of a Cokie the Clown album, and it's just kind of the soundtrack to the book. Like all those references, so fresh if you just read the book. I just thought there when he said about being a moron, bro. Obviously, it's the famous song, but Dogpatch Wino, all of that stuff. Now that's amazing for the vocal in this song.
They plugged in. I want to talk about that last one.
I was a child like Joe, I'm walking in stone. Every shot got more difficult. I was a teenage transmit, a breathing mannequin, a constant cause who must have loved suffering. Romanticized, and I was a moron, bro. I suck at
Archivist, what's up, man? I love Hepatitis Bathtub. I have it on the audio, but I've never owned a physical copy of it. On 2 different Amazon accounts, I've owned the audio version, and I re-listened to it about 3 months ago, and it dawned on me again, as has been the case. It is Smelly's book. It could be called the Smelly story, and the NoFX story I think kind of gets told around it. Have you read the book, Archivist? You're a voracious reader like me. I also this week randomly audiobook listened to the Bad Religion book. Do what you want. I might need to just like if I'm just throwing up content like I'm doing right here, like I got motivated to from a little comment actually by Archivist. That's why I perked up a little bit when I saw you, man. I can make some content based on that book next week. I think we can do this again as we're rounding the back 9 here. 6 years on dope. Great. So that's better than I give it credit for, to be honest with you. And I love this album. I'm a big fan of late period NoFX, as I've said over and over and over again. But I can't in good faith put it over 72 hookers, but I definitely have it over Sold Out. This B tier keeps swallowing. You're at the book signing event. What do you think of the book? I love the millions of chapters in it. It's so, and again, I've only done the audio version, so maybe that's my experience, but it just flows so well. I think it really flows well audio too, because you got them actually reading it, so you have all 4 of their voices. And so you help kind of keep track of everything, and it's really, it's to me a really well organized book. Like I love the South by Southwest panel that they did at that time too, and a lot of the media they did around it was super interesting. All right, let's go to so the Bad Religion book. Here's my take on it. The first time when I got it, I got another book I think might have been better through audio. To me, it's just like the best Bad Religion Wikipedia page of all time, and it's written by Jim Ruland, and it has all the different band members were interviewed for it, but it very much is the band's take on it. I have a little while to go, and I want to remember what they how they handled the Hetson departure, because I think they kind of glossed over it. And that was the thing about it. Like, you could really learn and be The Dirt is an amazing book, much better than the movie. And the movie was amazing. Read The Dirt in high school twice. I was a big Nikki Sixx wannabe guy back then too. You and I have very similar interests, Archivist, in a lot of different things. But yeah, that styling of the multiple authors, and then even like, Jello and Cheech come into the parts of Steve and Dave to read for that, which was amazing. But the Bad Religion book, going back to that, is if you want to pretty much know the whole lore of Bad Religion, though, it is all in there. Her name was Moose. Okay, let's go to modern single, double, triple album. We're not gonna put I'm a Rat on there because I don't know if we have a track listing yet, so we don't know if that's an opener. But let's go to the Big Drag. I just want to put this out there. I'm a huge fan of the Big Drag. It's such a different kind of opener than, like, maybe goes back to Green Corn. To me, the Big Drag is actually part of one bigger song with Gen Z, which ends off First Ditch Effort. To me, it's just like one big long, like, narrative song. Just going kind of on the mainline LPs, Archivist. We didn't have 46 songs on here. We're just going to fit 15.
Before James died, he smiled and laughed. 'Cause he was just photographed for the last time. While it was drowned, the kid in purred. At least that's what I thought I heard. But maybe that's 'cause I need to believe.
I think that kind of delivery right there is very reminiscent, though, of the Koki sessions too, of like that sort of weird delivery kind of thing. And I think the last song on single album, Your Last Resort, has very much a lot of that Koki kind of vibe to it. That album is really, really, really a Koki album. And then double albums, kind of a bunch of stuff thrown together. We'll get there.
In the absurd.
Such like a big epic type of song.
Ashes to ashes after the planet crashes. I trust all dust will turn to dust. I used to think a wasted life was not a crime. That's before I realized we don't have very much more time. My melodies are maladies.
Love the melodies line. He has a lot of those double meaning, double entendres, similar versions of similar words on this album. Maybe like too much. You can maybe even argue it was overkill.
My poetries are just phonetic.
I think it's definitely the longest one. By a pretty significant amount.
Trying to make sense of this world is preposterous, pathetic. The gods have had their fun playing this world, but now it's too upsetting. The human race is not worth watching or wagering on.
I think famously Mike has said too that there's no measures are played exactly the same anywhere on this song.
We're just a long shot, an underdog with thoughts so bad. Now it's just a bloodletting. So every deity with dignity has just stopped betting. So follow me into a world of anything you've ever dreamed.
The video, I didn't want to put it up here because it'll get pulled down, but I love the cartoon aspect where they're going through like his whole career and they bring in Tony and like the punk voter days. It's really cool.
Now that morality is blurred, if you listen really closely, you probably believe in every single word. Mesmerized by rhetorical and memorized historical events
That never actually occurred.
that never actually occurred. We're not blind, we're bound and blinded. Our minds have been landmined and I'm so excited. Every single person on this planet thinks that they are right. 'Cause if you thought that you were wrong,
Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys just don't care for this song and don't care for this album and this vibe by them. But if you would allow this part right here, where it's, to me, it's the mission statement of this album, but presented in a different way than like 60% was. It's almost like the opposite of 60%.
Romance, so I'm gonna dance and fight and fuck with every moment. I'll always have something in my glass to rate.
I gotta tell you, right, coming out the heels of COVID when this song came out, this little section right there of "Living Life to the Fullest" just hit me like a shit ton of bricks.
To make a toast for those making the most of the last days. Nothing is ever gonna change. Nothing will ever be okay. Nothing is ever gonna change. Nothing will ever be okay. There's only a finite number of tomorrows, and it's not a lot. But it's all we really got. It's all we really got. Live each precious moment that we can manage to carve out of each day. So when it's time for us to die, we'll say our short goodbye. There's no sadness if there's no one left to cry.
In my opinion, the biggest drag is the hardest song to really gauge on this kind of list, because to me it's an epic song, it's an amazing song, it's a top tier song, but it's so off tone with everything else that we've had on here. I'm gonna say it's A tier, and it's gonna go in that fourth spot on the A tier. Like that's definitely gonna close. That's double album. Their single album. It closes out the A tier for me. I think it's gonna be controversial, but I was like, yeah, I would take it over 6 Years on Dope. I take it over Sold Out. I take it over Green Corn. I take it over 60%. I wouldn't take it over any of the songs ahead of it. I feel pretty good about this list. I feel like it is coming out the way that I felt it would, with one song to go. A song I've actually got a video up on the channel. Like, a lot of you guys have watched that back when all of you were discovering me, which is why, as tonight's kind of a soft relaunch of the channel, got to go back to the roots where it all started with the Nofx super fandom. God, we have our differences, archivist. I don't know. I think the song has grown on me than what I called for initially. The album.
Banned from the bar.
Archivist, where were you on Double Album? I don't think we've ever. I have a video about it, but I don't think we ever discussed it on a stream. Where were you on Double Album generally?
It's barred from the club, and clubbed by the cops for copying some drugs and drug down the street by his self-abuse. A Candyman hanging from a self-tried nuisance in public with pennies and brawnies, not like the beaver of Harriet and Ozzy. He's the bastard son of the Colonel Kurtz, Lucille, Paul Buster, Crystal Method Mertz. I wasn't born this way, I was raised not by wolves, but by Jews. I was gilded and hazed. A middle-class clown waging lower-class war. A Beverly Hillbilly peeled off the floor. The erratic, irreverent reverend that wreaks havoc and wreckage.
It's just so unoriginal for me. It's so uninspired. That's my issue with it. Like, this song isn't bad. I don't think it's bad, and I don't think any of the songs on that album are bad. It doesn't constitute a full album for me of like quality.
I'm not the first on your last second shot. A film about grave robbing without a plot. Throwing a party, I'll be crashing. My captain's sensibilities tells me to smash it. Up I am, the shit smeared in your pillowcase. I'm not the texting, I'm the uppercase. Ranting and cursing, he sings in the third person, and then I'll I'll catch myself and start singing about me again. Because of
I don't think you need to
your hair,
archive
my
this.
shape, your mustache, your Donner Party has just been Darby Crafts. I'm Antichrist, the unoriginal
Good for you.
sin. The 10 months of
Make that
relevant
patient.
Johnny Rotten. I am the victim in victimless crimes, painting the town, read between the lines. Losing is delightful when you always win. That's why I push my chips, GG all in.
Darby crashing your party is like too cute for me. That's my problem with it. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's gonna go to the top of the C tier, but I'm gonna put it C tier. No. You go right there. Okay. So to run down what I determined as I sat here on my ass on a Friday going through these. Number 15, shut up already. Number 14, hobophobic. Number 13, days to days. Number 12, and now for something completely similar. Number 11, Darby crashing your party. Number 10, 60%. Number 9, green corn. Number 8, sold out. Number 7, 6 years on dope. Number 6, the big drag. Number 5, 72 hookers. Number 4, we called it America. Number 3, separation of church and skate. Number 2, it's my job to keep punk rock elite. And number 1, punk in Drublic. Oh, you thought I was ranking albums? No, the album rankings would be pretty different. That's probably a very, very near thing. Yeah, this is just openers. These are just openers, archivist. That was a stretch for you to try to do this snake thing. Our list didn't end up as phallic looking as I was hoping to honor Nofx, but it's phallic enough, I would say. Which is why, like, some of the biggest outliers on that one, archivist, would be like, and now for something completely similar, which is fine. It's just kind of a short, like that would pump up the volume is great. I think Linoleum and Punk Rock Elite are unfair because there might be like great songs and are here's what you got to do, archivist. Go ahead and listen to Modern Lagwagon in order to soothe your soul, to get those times in your life back. And I gotta admit, guys, let me pull it behind the curtain a little bit. I kind of been planning this, so I've been going through these openers just a little bit in my head. And the two I probably listened to the least are the two at the bottom. And those are definitely the two albums that I listened to the least. But I don't know why I'm developing some weird sort of like attachment to liberal animation, and I need to stop. Like Heavy Petting Zoo doesn't usually resonate with me. I like whatever Diddy wants, but it's just not an album that really grabs me. I don't know why liberal animation lately has just been calling my name, and I've always liked to make fun of that album. But I guess it is what it is on that one. All right, guys, we're going over just about the hour mark. I do have to get out of here in a couple of seconds. Just a quick sort of relaunch stream to see if we like doing this. If you liked getting this content from me, I think this will be very easy to chop up into a video once all the YouTube copyright people come in and shut this down. Because we use the full first run songs. In the video, I'll put in some live versions and hopefully keep it up on YouTube. But this will be pretty fun. And I think I want to do. You saw the Heavy Petting Zoo tour. I mean, I'm sure they were kind of at the peak of their powers right there. I just don't like the album. Not a fan of it, archivist. Yeah. And I went on this big old rant. Like, I couldn't believe it was sandwiched between Linoleum and So Long and Thank You for the Shoes. I just couldn't believe it. Me First in the Gimmies tribute band, like a tribute band to Me First in the Gimme Gimmies. Oh no, yeah. I love Me First. I love Me First. All right, guys. See you maybe in the middle next week, or definitely on a Friday or two. Peace, guys.